Welcome back to another video. We are in the Sunshine Cup here, and today we're going to be featuring a slightly different team, featuring the Vigoroth in the lead with Marowak and Shadow Abomasnow here. Here we have the Glider versus the Vigoroth, which is fairly neutral, even though we're not doing super effective fast moves. We are going to be able to get to these body slams quite quickly. We throw the first body slam. Our opponent ends up throwing the dig. And they actually go for the back-to-back move right here, which will be able to take out the Vigoroth. So we let it go. We go in with the Abomasnow here to try to farm it down, but they are still able to get to another move. So unfortunate right there. We are just going to let it go. We're going to put everything on the line with our Marowak. This is a great matchup here considering we're doing neutral fast moves and they're doing resisted fast moves. They actually go for the bait right there, which is even worse for them. So that was a great no shield by us. We do get a shield from our opponent, and this is pretty much a telltale sign that they don't want to see this Marowak in the back. So we're in a great situation right now. These fire spins are doing enough neutral damage to take it down to where they have to double shield. And in fact, they do double shield, and that is GG's because we have a ton of energy. We're just going to go for the overkill Fire Blast. Boom! Goes to Fire Blast, and luckily for us, we have a shield, and the Vigoroth has no way to beat us right there. So, nice end game right there. That Marowak ended up being the core breaker for their backline. All we had to do was just take out that Glider. So, next game, we are going to be facing Talonflame. This Talonflame, tricky situation. We obviously don't want to see it against the Abomasnow, so we'd rather see it here than later. We go for the body slam chip damage. And we're not going to shield here because we don't think that they're going to go Brave Burst. So they do go for the Flame Charge. And that allows us to get to a potential Body Slam here, which forces them to shield. Our opponent actually ends up sniping us with the Trevenant. So even though they did snipe our Vigoroth, we are able to come in with the Abomasnow here to completely wipe out this Trevenant. And then because we are able to take out the Trevenant, they force us to go into a Marowak, which forces them to go into the Vigoroth, which is another great matchup for us. We know that we can tank one Bulldoze, so we don't shield that. And then here we just apply the pressure. We're going for Fire Blast here for the KO. Boom goes the Vigoroth. And luckily we have enough shields here to be able to fast move it down if we want to. Okay. We could have shielded here to potentially just KO, but just to be sure, we let it go, and then we come in with our Abomasnow to whittle it down. So GG's to our opponent right there. Marowak causing havoc, especially with all these Vigoroths floating around. Next, we are going to be faced with the Rhydon. Wow. I guess because of all the Marowaks, people are trying to counter the Marowak. So the Rhydon does run into our Vigoroth. And then they switch into the Growth. We know that they potentially have a rock move, but we know we can survive it. So we decide to tank it. Then we go for the Shadow Bone. Our opponent ends up letting it go. So we don't lose a shield. We maintain alignment. Now we are met with the Rhydon again. This Rhydon is going to have to tank a Shadow Bone, which it does. Then we're going to come in with our Vigoroth. We should be able to tank this move here. Ends up being the Breaking Swipe. And then they reveal that they have the Wigglytuff in the back. So that was a straight up fast move team. 2 shields with our Abomasnow there. We should have been able to throw a ton of Weather Balls. So that was still a positive situation for us. So far, the Marowak has been matched up against some really good stuff. So let's see if we can continue it. Looks like our opponent is running the Pidgeot here. We're going to have to stay in. We definitely don't want to lose this lead here unless we can get a shield, which is exactly what we do. So our opponent ends up throwing the Brave Bird. We barely survive it. Then we have our Vigoroth's Body Slam caught against their own Vigoroth. But because we know we can survive a Bulldoze here, we're going to come in with our Marowak, tank the move. And we're going to throw this Shadow Bone. I know it's resisted, but it should do just enough to where they're forced to use energy, or we're going to be able to farm down. We knew that was a Body Slam right there, so We come up with some energy. We switch into our Abomasnow, and they have their Pidgeot waiting there. We decide to shield it. We knew it was probably the Feather Dance there, but now we're just going to go for this Weather Ball because we have 2 available, I believe. Yep. So it looks like they don't want to see this Abomasnow in the back for some reason. Is it Gligar? No Gligar. It's actually the other situation, Swampert. So this is GG's. All we have to do here is just shield, and we're going to be able to get to this Energy Ball here before they get to the next move. And this is huge KO. How many Swampers do we take out with this Energy Ball? Probably 3. So GG's to our opponent. Can we end up on a perfect set here? I would say the Abomasnow in the back has been working as well. So let's see if we can continue that. So here we go, Talonflame matchup. This is kind of a situation where it just depends on, like, are they going to be throwing the Flame Charge, or are they going to go for the Brave Bird damage and dip? This opponent ends up going for the Brave Bird, which makes them go into the Vigoroth. This Vigoroth versus the Marowak classic matchup here. They go for the Body Slam bait. So we're gonna decide to go for the Fire Blast here. Ooh, our opponent ends up shielding the correct move. Here we're gonna shield. Ends up being the Bulldoze. So next we're gonna be throwing the Shadow Bone here. Let's see if our opponent ends up double shielding. They do decide to double shield. Now here we have to decide, we're gonna go for the shield. Man, we do get baited right there, so we're gonna try our best to farm it down, and unfortunately we don't get to farm it down. So well played by my opponent right there, playing that Vigoroth matchup pretty well. But unfortunately for us, they do have their Talonflame, which is doing huge chunks of damage. They go for the 1 Incinerate to do a big chunk of damage, and then they dip into their Abomasnow, and now they're gonna be able to win this just because we are at a huge health disadvantage. This Weather Ball here will not KO, so this is all but over. Unfortunate, but we actually had a chance, just didn't work out. So GG's to our opponent, and check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.